It changes how you bill, it changes how you sell, it changes how you advertise, it changes everything, right? Which is why it can change a business overnight, but it can also destroy a business overnight. And so when I see a business that in aggregate between those 8 has $140 million in revenue and $30-ish million in EBITDA, you're talking about a business that's got probably $300 to $400 million enterprise value. I would be very hesitant to immediately change something that's obviously working. And so there's lesser degrees of change that have higher likelihoods of working that could still materially impact the business in terms of increasing the likelihood that it exits, right? And fundamentally, I'm guessing that's what he wants to get his slice from. Centralizing the sales would allow them to decrease costs because they could not have guys on the road. It's just cheaper to do it. It's also easier to hire salespeople who are remote. All of these kind of downstream cost savings. The other benefit is that when you hire remotely, you have access to a bigger pool. So you can get better salespeople at lower prices who close more deals, and they could cut down all the real big cost for this business is salespeople who are unproductive. All right, so people who they're losing leads on people who can't close. And so by reducing costs, increasing talent, and increasing sales utilization, all three of those things reduce costs and increase revenue, which could disproportionately drive EBITDA, which is what that company is being valued on. And so when I look at that, I'm like, this is a change that you have to do in order to sell the company and will result in revenue and EBITDA growth. And so let's do this massive change first before risking the biscuit, right? Because we might just found out that just from doing that, we get a 25% increase in EBITDA, and that might be enough. Just bringing everything together plus adding the 25%, you might be right as rain. And at that point, why risk it? I feel like if I were in your position, the first thing that I would do would be centralize everything first without trying to change. Basically, I would take the model that I already know works. What was your revenue before you were acquired? Okay, you're doing 20. So I would in terms of introducing levels of change, so this is actually pretty good for everybody, I will typically not try and change 5 things at once. And so you centralizing all sales is going to get cost efficiency improvements, and you're going to be able to have a higher sales utilization, so you probably cut off the bottom third of the sales force that's low performing. That alone might give you a 25% lift in general, because the best sales guys will take more of the sales, and you'll have centralized all the costs, you'll have centralized all the costs, right? And so you'll have an increase in revenue and a decrease in cost that's paired. That would probably be my first step.
That was part of the acquisition deal. That's the only way I did the acquisition, is if they were going to give me full control and centralize all sales.
So, but I know the question is about roofing, but that's what I would do first, and that will probably take you 6 months or more, realistically.